Okay. Every sound and every image is trying to get through to something new. Even this, I'm trying to get through, planting the seed until I can say it fully. See, it takes time, and if time is my luxury, having lost my mind. The first point of recognition that something was wrong were appointments. When you need to feel accountable, you make an appointment somewhere and you make sure you're on time, even early, because you respect the person that you're meeting. Whether it's socially, professionally. I like to show up 5 minutes early, and all of a sudden my tardiness was becoming an issue, something that was just never me. Because treatment is all about reciprocity. How you want to be treated is the way you should treat others. So when we say we don't understand what it must feel like, that's not true. Would you want someone to come up and punch and stab you? What about your family, all the boo-hoos? If someone was gonna come and take you away. Major physical improvements in just a couple days. Because the stress and anxiety of being in that room with people contradicting themselves. And then later, with hindsight, you get to look at the records of what the assumptions were. And this is the thing. If you're late for appointments or you're in the wrong area, if there's 2 different offices, it's easy to get confused. Why? Because there's noise and confusion and you can't understand the sequencing of time. Give people with PTSD a little bit of break. The disorder means you're disorganized. So instead, the term is, in a medical way, does not participate in their own care. Excuse me? What an assumption to make when I'm honestly saying, hey, this is a heartbreak because this is simply not me. They hear excuses, see? They don't know you. Injury, illness, disease that changes the way you're able to do sequencing. This is a skill in education. They isolate it in the subtest. When you're measuring someone's intellect, you have to break it up into little parts. Because there's all these different ways the brain processes and you're trying to identify it. But we don't diagnose in education. Oh no. From childhood, did you love school or was it a bore? Did you jump out of bed or was it always a chore? I've heard such horror stories of what kids do to avoid learning. And then the parents' heart breaks. They have to deal with it day after day. And with any truth, when you feel better, you're excited. Celebrate those small successes.
You've said everyone controls their data, but you're collecting data on people that are not even Facebook users, that have never signed a privacy agreement, and you're collecting their data.
Always be invited.
And it may surprise you that on Facebook's page, when you go to, I don't have a Facebook account and would like to request all my personal data stored by Facebook, it takes you to a form that says, go to your Facebook page, and then on your account settings, you can download your data. So you're directing people that don't have access, don't even have a Facebook page, to have to sign up for a page to release their data. We've got to fix that. Have you disclosed to this committee or to anyone all information Facebook has uncovered about Russian interference on your platform?
Congressman, we are working with the right authorities on that, and I'm happy to answer specific questions here as well.
Always be invited in to someone's party, a celebration, see, because our best memories, we know, are associated with and sensory, noise, food, laughter, drinks, loosey-goosey, dancing, around safe people. So if we know that, can't we think that if the environment is harrowing, stressful, too bright, not organized, kids screaming and running around, I guess it depends on your noise level tolerance. But see, that's not really true because you can just kind of zone out, correct? Well, I guess every person is different. I'm more interested in the evidence-based research that we already have. That suggests learning environmental spaces has got to be the first place to go. It connects to the future, meaning where I want to flow and where I want to go. Where do I want to go to? A public social place with music and lights and sensory ablaze. But I can't because it's not safe. Always be invited. My body is already telling me the anticipation of going out on any occasion is simply too much. Because it's related to all the bad touch. Now imagine little bodies getting messed with. The stress in them, the way they turn bright red, tensed up and screamed and shook and shaked. Like I said, teaching has got a lot of heartbreak. So being part of a team, I could not say it's the guilt and the shame connected to suicide because it is the guilt concerning oneself. I was told to be the lead. Okay, fine, I'll take on that deed. Never, ever, ever, ever. This is their hypocrisy, because all they're doing is to delay and distract, trying to pretend that you're powerful. Hey, they don't pay attention. There's no authority here. I need you to step in and lead. And guess what? They made it crystal clear. Poof, disappeared. So if special education is all about design, because what you're trying to find is that ideal learning environment, and what can you do with the resources that you already have, and what can you afford to get?
That I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror into and fear, a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and hope of the slave.
And this is where the trouble begins, justifying everything that a special needs kid should have. If we can get the best systems, then fine. Sit back, close your eyes, and imagine your happy place. Something serene, calming. You breathe, not in some master race. And your body doesn't respond. You can hear your breath. You can feel your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Can you feel your nose from the inside? I mean, seriously, when I take a breath, it goes up into my nostrils, and into my cheeks, and into my jaw, and then back to my neck. A cycle. Again, what is the point of the head, and why we must protect? We share horror stories of people that we cannot forget after injury, accident, or disease. So let's apply the rules that we already know to ourselves and combine them all, PTOT vestibular together. It's going to help the PTSD memories. Because I'm in control now, my mind and body in sync and harmony. How do I explain these setups and put downs? It's when somebody wants you either out of town, or they just don't want to be around, but they want to avoid the blame and responsibility because their anxiety runs away with them, see? So there's two types of people, the ones that overreact and just start imagining the worst stress of that person that needed to validate them. That's a seed planted for later when I start to harvest that one. We're going to call that one the... Since we all have a reference for space, whether it's your environment or discovery, rockets, alien life forms, new types of things unseen, and that's why I discovered a new plant, see? Because I had to go to another planet to understand any of this. That's the problem with kids, is they don't have a way to describe it, and what we do is try to get them to be in our world. Tell me how you feel. Do you feel high or do you feel low? Well, what the hell are you talking about? What about words that help them grow into new vocabulary and that can actually do some good? You're giving me the same strategies over and over, so these interventions aren't working. Oops, and all I get is a response like, showing up to help. Do their paperwork. And that's how I know. We need to be transparent and accountable.
Breathe, seethe, it's all grief. The process to real relief starts with a game of pretend. Think, then say, then write 100, no, 1,000 times a day. This is not going to be the way it ends. An exposure to worse fears, and when that moment appears, a split second to be brave, you leap, trust, you're safe. Recall the life that you've made. Hold on to shards of love that you gave. Isn't that sucking it up? Come on, give me 3 cheers. Wait, I lost it. Oh, phooey, now the world is kablooey, but it's just a veneer. Now focus on seer, which helps me remember their strength undiscovered. Just trust its existence was always right here. It's time to survive, evade, resist, and extract, whilst ensuring to keep this half-functioning core fully intact. This thought turns off the alarms, those sirens signaling distress. This last test is so charmed, so I'll pass it, you bet. It's surprisingly simple. Enter gentle breeze, blowing away all the fear. Repeat after me, I can do it, it's easy. Now say it 333 times. I've got this, you can do it, you proved it, no push through it. Come on, fake it, you'll make it. An app student who's been studying year after year.